When I was in junior high is when my father passed away. So that was like a huge like pop in the bubble for me. Like, and people were coming up to me like, "What's wrong? I know something's wrong. You're not your usual spunky, happy, self that wants to do stuff." And I couldn't click. So when I found out, it was more of that. I blew up. I was punching holes in walls.
So your dad passed away and you didn't know?
If you're a righteous man, if you're a righteous human being, you say what you're gonna do. You're a man of your word. You show up on time. You help other people. You're a good person. People are gonna see that.
What would you say is the biggest lesson that you learned from your dad?
Ya está, podcast, boy. Ya estás, no vuelvo para atrás, libre del Alcatraz, en la guerra tengo paz. Mis metralletas es la oración y adoración, salvación para mi nación, manifestar el reino es la meta. Puesta la armadura, que las criaturas andan duras de la dimensión oscura, mi alma se apresura. Everybody, welcome to another episode of Ya Estás Podcast.
I got a little cold, but it's all good. We're gonna keep on moving. What's up, Lamont? How you doing, my bro?
Bro, grateful, but we're gonna get it moving because time runs out fast, bro.
Yo, this guy, man,
Yeah,
I've been trying to get him on for a minute.
yeah. Tell me about his profile.
His profile, man, he's an amazing guy, bro. This guy made an impact as soon as I
Check.
met him. And I know he's got a great story. I'm very intrigued because I
Check.
never tap in on like that. So, man, without further ado, let's get it on and let's welcome our bro, Los from
Carlos. Stop barbershop. Thank you for joining us, bro. Hey, when you got here, I was just like asking him all the little
tips.
tricks, bro. He was breaking it down like a science, bro.
It is a science. It's a very therapeutic process.
Well, thanks for hopping on, bro. I know it's been a
long time coming. We've definitely been throwing dates out there, and we're finally here. So
I'm here. Thank God. Thank God. Well, we want to hear your story, man. Like, where you from, your upbringing, the dynamic. How was that like?
oh man, my story's I came from immigrant parents. I moved here when I was 3 years old. So born in Guadalajara, moved to San Diego when I was 3 years old.
Jalisco.
Jalisco. And I grew up in North Park, and that's kind of where we were raised. When I was in junior high is when my father passed away. So that was like a huge like pop in the bubble for me. Like all of a sudden there's this huge world. When he was alive, I was a straight A student, college bound, playing soccer, and I was really, really focused in everything that life was because, an immigrant family, they hit you hard with it. You better do your homework. You better do good. You better be respectful. You better learn English, all that. So I was really on that path. When he passed away, I was just this defiant, fuck with me. Say something to me.
How old were you?
I was 13. So it was kind of like, mi ídolo. Ahí está, ya se fue. So I was like, it really hurt, And you could probably hear it in my voice, kind of have some feeling about it. But, it also made me the man I am. It attracted me to well-hearted, hardworking men, and I kind of approached any man around me, and I took something from him. So when he passed away, I was just this kid urging to learn about how to become a man, and I started with fighting. My family wanted to take me to military school, and luckily I went to high school. I started DJing. That's when I started getting a little bit more creative. I started DJing. In high school, I had a clothing brand, and so I started selling shirts at school, and my whole school was rocking all the clothes, and
What was the name of the brand?
it was called M Block, ENBLOC, with Junior Ruiz, which now owns Empire Tint, and I think it's in Claremont, and then my brother-in-law Moses Martinez, which he's a great leader in our family right now. So it was that, and then and then I went to college. I hit up City College, but right before City College in my senior year, I was still a Mexican, and I wanted to go get naturalized. So went to Ciudad Juarez.
Oh, you did all that?
Juarez, and Juarez is like You know,
Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West, man. It was like it's too quiet around here, and we went. It's very dangerous over there. Well, at that time, it was even more dangerous.
What year was this?
Um, let's see, maybe like in 1998.
Mm.
98, 97. Um, yeah, no, yeah. And then, so it was like my senior year in high school. It was 99, my senior year in high school. And when I went to Juarez to get my permanent residency, they denied it. And so then I had to stay in Mexico.
What?
So here I am, senior year in high school, and I can't come back to the States. The only thing I know, right?
Did
So,
you try to come back illegally?
uh, so, um, they didn't let me re-enter these states from Juarez. So back in the day, you could just cross the border. I'm an American citizen and
Era
you're
más
good to
fácil,
go.
pues.
It's era más fácil. So, but they also required me to do stuff. I had to go live in TJ, have a bill, get a driver license, mi tarjeta de lector. I even had to get my cartilla, which, if you guys don't know what that is, I had to serve the military for about 3 months.
Oh, you did the.
Yeah, so I served the military, the Mexican military, served for about 3 months.
How was that?
Honestly, I was like the defiant soldier, if you may. I was athletic. Um, I was smart. I'm a hard worker. So anything we did, I was kind of like, this is cake. Like, this is what you guys are doing. Come on. So the captain were looking at me like, go run more laps. And I'm like, "Psh, nothing. So I was kind of like the defiant soldier until I guess they took off the fact that I needed a cartilla to get my permanent residency. So as soon as I found that out, I just didn't go no more.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they had a grasp of me yet. I just went to get a cartilla.
Were they pricks to you or?
Well, they knew that I was an asset to the team because it's literally like a team thing, but they also knew that I was kind of like bored at the same time. And at that time, it was like I wasn't tolerating any kind of disciplinary action from anybody. It was only my dad that could do that to me, and he was
Yeah.
gone. So now I'm whatever, say something to me. I don't got to do nothing. So I was kind of like a menace, to be honest with you. I was a menace when I was a kind of like a teenager. I put my mom through it, my sister through it, and even my brother-in-law through it. Because I didn't care about anybody but whatever I wanted to do.
So when you say that, like going back to when you lost your dad, bro, what were your thoughts and your feelings?
It was tough, man, because my family kind of kept it from me for like a week or two because I was the only boy and that was my idol. So it wasn't like they had an answer for what to do with me. So they had to figure out what they needed to do first in order to be able to tell me and tell us the next steps of what we were going on. So when I went to school, I kind of felt this void and people were coming up to me like, what's wrong? I know something's wrong. You're not your usual spunky, happy, self that wants to do stuff. And I couldn't click. So, when I found out, it was more of that, I blew up. I was punching holes in walls. I didn't want nobody to come visit us. I was I was a menace, man. I want anybody that came to my house, you're not allowed here. This is my dad's house. Like everything was territory. Everything was about protecting my sisters and my mom. I didn't let nobody around them. I was like a pit bull. I was
Yeah.
just ready.
Bro, so it impacted you right away
Oh.
because when my dad passed away, bro, I don't know if like my heart wasn't like receiving the information correctly, or maybe there was a delay on my emotions, but it took a while to process until I started, seeing my kids. I was older already, bro. My dad passed away like 3 years ago, so it was like something my kids, asking me for their grandpas. "¿Dónde me pegó más?" I'm like, oh, my dad's not here anymore. And it was like a process that took a while, but yours was instant. It just happened.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think also something that we have to keep in mind is your dad was absent for the longest time,
yeah, my dad was,
right?
yeah.
And then with you, I mean, you
Your
said
dad
you
was an idol. He was everything. He was everything. So as soon as he was gone, not only was he gone and my bubble popped into this big world, but I instantly took the role of being the male of the family. It was instant, like, oof. You know what?
¿Sí te lo pidieron?
I'm gonna take that back because I remember my sister just recently told me that they told me that I had to be the man of the house.
Gotcha.
And then I kind of like sat with it in a couple of weeks. I was like, I don't know how to do that. What do you mean you want me to be the man of the house? Like,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do? I don't want that yet. and she just kind of, when you're young and you're going through so much stuff like that, so many changes, you miss those little things here and there, and she reminded me of it, and I'm like, wow, I did hesitate to take that responsibility. But I also took it in other ways when I was making sure that my sisters were okay, that my mom was okay. My mom was still a young woman. She wanted a date, and I was not allowing that. Not on my watch. I was not allowing that. And so, it is what it is. God put me there for that reason. God made me, realize that I was the protector, and she's still safe. She's healthy as heck, and my sisters are in a good place, and so that kind of happened when I was in junior high. Then in high school, that's when I went to immigration, and then did that, and so that kind of altered my path, and took everything away from me again. At first it was my dad taking that from me, and then immigration took everything else away. Now I'm back to square one. Like, I don't have anything. I sold my car. I had to live in TJ in some.
Do you have family over there?
Luckily, my mom knew somebody that I slept at their house
Okay.
in their kids' bunks beds. So, and it worked out. It was placed in the right place. It worked out. I came back, got my permanent residency, filled out all the box, checked all the boxes, and I finally got it in. I came back and I went to school at Garfield and City College. So that's when I went to City College. I started business. I studied business and some public relations. So that kind of got me going more into the business side of stuff. But soon after that, I started at UPS. In 2002, I started at UPS, and that kind of took me on that path. And that was a good career, for what that was.
UPS delivery?
Yeah, I was a UPS driver.
Quick question, bro.
Yeah.
Did you question God through all this, or were you mad at God?
No, like, so my dad raised us Catholic, so I did my primera comunión. I would go to Iglesia de Guadalupe, which is down the street. So we went to that church every Sunday. When he passed away, my mom was more on there's a universe, she was more into the earthy things. She was more like holistic. And so she wasn't like, you need to go to church. But around the corner where I lived, there was a Baptist church, and across the street was one of my friends from school. So he was like, let's go. And I'm like, okay, let's go. And that's when I really learned about the Bible, about Noah's Ark, about Adam and Eve, and the stories in the Bible. When I went to the Catholic church, it was just like a sit up, stand up, sit down, say this. I'm looking at the clock the whole time, not even knowing what the person is saying on top of the altar. And I'm like, I don't even know what he's saying. So I didn't question God. I just didn't know what role he was in my life, or how much I needed to learn about him. But when I went to the Baptist church, that's when I was like, oh, this is why we're here. This is why this is set up. Okay, cool. And so then that's when I started leaning more to the Baptist. And then when I was at UPS, I lived in Eastlake for a little bit, and my roommate was going to Eastlake Community Church. And that's a non-denominational or Christian church. So I started going to that church, and I was just like, this is my church. So that's when I started really learning about, studying the Bible and then learning about the books. And I knew the books from Genesis all the way to the Revelations. Like, I knew each book. I mean, but I also knew all the states and capitals when I was a kid, If I don't study it as much, but I did hit the book for a while.
Nice. Yeah.
So it looks like your energy was focused on, work and school.
Yeah.
Oh, did anybody come along the way that kind of inspired you, bro? Because from talking to you, bro, like, you carry yourself very well. Like, did anybody come along, like, and inspired you, like, took you under the wing, like an uncle, un primo, maybe?
I think throughout my life, a lot of men. If
Yeah.
I hang out with you enough, I'm gonna take a little bit of what you are and the good things of you, and I'm gonna take, and I'm gonna come, and that's how I've always been. So I think that a lot of people have inspired me. A lot of men have inspired me, and even like my mom and my sisters have inspired me. So I I take inspiration from everyone around me, the good and the bad. It comes with that, but yeah, I don't really have like one person that like was like, oh, that was my dad at the time, and that's what I foreseen it forever. But anything else after that is just, I'll hang out with you, and I'll give you all the love I have. Like, I won't hold back. I'm a very giver. I believe I'll support everything that you're about. I'll give you everything I know. I'm an open book. I'm not a gatekeeper. I want to see you shine. If you're shining, that means I'm shining. You know, and that's what it's all about. That's how I've always been because I know what I've been through. And if you show me something, I'm like, oh, dude, I needed that. Okay, cool. Let's shine. You know, I'm never gonna let you down. I'm always gonna be there for you. Like that's just how I've always been because like I think that was taken from me. So I don't want anyone else to feel that. So yeah, it's
What would you say is the biggest lesson that you learned from your dad?
Phew.
Or if there's a lot, then you can say top 3.
Bro, that's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, from my dad, I mean, I was young, you know, I was 13. So I mean, honestly, my dad was somebody that a lot of people loved, and I think that I carry him. And this is kind of like a thing that I tell anybody that has someone passing away, not to not have empathy, but I always say, you know, your person, whoever it is, just passed away. It is now up to you to let them live through you to show the world who they really are. And I genuinely think that that's what I do without even knowing. Like 13 years of knowing him, like that's a lot of years. But if you think about it, it's like when you're young, how much do you really know versus like your age where you really know your dad, you know, and you knew him, you raised your kids around him and all that. Like you know your dad on a whole different level through a lot of different phases of life, you know. So I would say like the way he is with people, very, you know, outgoing, very friendly with people. I think that I learned that that's that, but I also learned to be a little ruthless. Like because he passed away, I learned to be a little bit more like, you know, kind of have my fangs when I need to have my fangs out, my claws out, I'm gonna have them out. Like I'm not afraid to do that. I don't do it often, but when I do, you're gonna like people
Yeah.
notice. Because I like
Careful.
yeah, because I like to be calm. You know, I don't want to get out of character too much, but when I do, I think I go for blood because he taught me to do that. You know, my dad was he was a karate black belt.
What?
Yeah, so he
That's
used
dope.
yeah he used to be the
You touch a karate?
no, but I was around it when I was a kid. My dad was the top security for the owner of Pemex,
Oh,
so he wasn't like playing around. He was like for real, for real. So like
Un escolta.
yeah, that guy. My dad was like my dad was a brother of 9 other children, 8 of 'em or 7 of them men. So when my uncle showed up, it was the baseball team showed up. You know, it wasn't like, oh, one, nah, the whole basketball team showed up right now. You're gonna play against the whole squad. So he protected all of them. He showed all of them how to fight. He showed them all how to be gentlemen, how to carry themselves because my grandfather was a truck driver, so he wasn't really around. So yeah, he taught me, I would say, humility, being ruthless. And then I think I would say my mom taught me that not everyone's gonna like my smile. So I always like take that too, because I'm always like, what's up? And not everyone's gonna like it. And I gotta be okay with that. You know, because sometimes you're like, damn, what's wrong with that person? But it's like, it's none of my business what's wrong with that person. I gotta stay here and I'm good here. Not everyone's gonna like my smile. And I'm like, okay. So I had to throw my mom in there because she was like my father when he passed away. She had to take that role. So yeah, I would say those.
And her losing a husband, and
Yeah, and they came over here together, you know. They came over here trying to figure it out together. They went to school together, learned English. They worked at restaurants together. Like they did a lot of stuff. You know, my dad um and her met when they were young, so they did a lot of stuff together. So it's
How did your mom handle it?
like a champ, I would say. You know, it was rough. That's why I think she kept it for me, or that's why she did keep it for me for a couple of weeks.
So your dad passed away and you didn't know?
I didn't know. I just
for a
felt it.
week. For a
Yeah,
week?
for like a week or two, you know, I just felt it. I felt something, the void, what's going on at
Where's my
school.
dad?
Yeah, where's it at? You know,
So
and
he would travel and work or
no. My dad would not try. He was a waiter. He was a waiter. So
oh
he was here,
oh
but you know, he wasn't about. You know, he went on vacation. Okay, he went on vacation. That's what they're supposed to do. You know, cool. But I felt the void. You know, and then once I found out, it just I exploded. Um, It is what it is. It made me the man I am, and I'm very proud to be the man I am, and I carry on his legacy just through that.
that's beautiful.
Super proud, bro. Your dad would be super proud.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So you went to UPS and I actually, my tia,
Oh yeah, yes, I do know your tia and your
my
tío.
tia, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and they uh they've been at UPS for a long time.
Oh yeah, they're
I remember they
cool.
I remember they used to tell me, "Yo, come work at UPS. You can have a secure job. You got the benefits."
Yeah,
And you know, them, my family, everybody would put the pressure on me.
yeah,
But I just never. I don't know. I've always been a knucklehead.
yeah.
So you had that.
Yeah, yeah, I did that for 22 years. 22
Damn.
years strong, and and it afforded me to do a lot of things in my life, and it gave me a stable ground. Um yeah, 22 years of doing that, and 2 years ago now, I decided to resign. I was in high school I started
Oh,
cutting
just
hair.
barely?
Yeah, 2 years ago, yeah, yeah, in high school, I started cutting hair, so it was something that was in our family. My older sister owns salons, and she still owns a salon, and so I kinda had it in me, and I would always see it, and then so in high school, I cut hair, and then I just kinda cut hair throughout my life, and then in 2008, during the recession, I went to barber college, and in barber college, I was like, "Man, I actually like this," like, I'm even in college, at barber college, I was doing stuff that no one in the college was doing. So I had a lot of clientele in the barber college. And so I noticed that I actually cared for the service. I cared for the impact that I made on other men that didn't know they needed what I gave them. So yeah, in 2 years ago, I decided to resign from UPS, it was tough. It was not easy. But luckily, my fiance, she supported me in doing it, and she said, "Just do it. We'll figure it out. Like, this is what you love to do." And at the time, I had a half of the studio I have now at the Imperial Collab. And 1 week before I was supposed to go back to work because I was off work, they gave me the green light to double my space. So me and my other barber, Matthew, shout out to Matthew Blends, that moved to Massachusetts. Him and I were sitting there, and I was like, "Dude, I got the green light. Like, let's smash on these walls." So my fiance was there, Matthew was there, and we just started knocking these walls down. 2 days later, so I'm supposed to go back to work, and I'm looking at this wall, and then I'm looking at my uniform, seeing the picture on my phone of the wall, and I'm like, "There's no way I'm leaving my dream for this uniform that I already know what this uniform does. I already know what it's gonna do. I already know how much I'm gonna have to work. Like, I know that already. My fiance's backing me up. Like, I'm just gonna do this." So I texted my manager, "Dude, I don't know when I'm not coming back today. I don't know if I'm ever coming back. Like, do what you gotta do. We'll talk later." He didn't respond to me for about 4 months. And like around four
What?
months, yeah. Because he knew me. At UPS, if just like anywhere in life, if you're a righteous man, if you're a righteous human being, you say what you're gonna do, you're a man of your word, you show up on time, you help other people, you're a good person, people are gonna see that, and they're gonna do stuff for you. And this particular manager I had, brought stuff to his attention, and he's like, I could have taken it to the next level where someone could have been gone. But he told me, like, "Hey dude, just let me take care of it." And I'm like, "Okay, dude, I'll trust your word. I'm gonna let you take care of it, because if I open my mouth, that person's gone because of the way they acted." So I don't know, I'm gonna take care of it. So I think because of that, because I showed up on time, I had good rapport with a lot of managers, a lot of customers love me. I'm a toot my own horn here, but um, he was like, didn't say anything until he called me one day. He's like, "Hey, bro, you're on all of my lists. Everyone's asking about you. How do you work here but not have any hours? Like, you need to make a decision." So that's when
Oh, he left you still? Like, if you worked at the company, but you never showed
yeah,
up?
I never showed up. Yeah.
He didn't want to fire you.
Yeah, he didn't, because the route I had was a really wealthy community, and they all knew me there.
East
And
Lake?
no,
Rancho Santa
Rancho Santa
Fe.
Fe. Yeah, it's a really wealthy community. Yeah,
Canelo, you went to Canelo's house?
Canelo's house before Canelo lived there. Yeah, and even while he lived there, I drove up to his
He answered
driveway.
that quick.
Yeah, well, he has two houses out there, and I've
Yeah.
been to both. Ryan Garcia's, David Wells, Trevor Hoffman, Donnie Edwards, like, and those are like their houses are okay compared to these other people's houses.
Donnie Edwards, the Charger player?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
And I drove for UPS the seasonal one,
mhm.
and Christmas
Yeah.
season and all that. And I did that route too, bro. And man, these houses are like amazing, yo.
Yeah.
Set
That's
up.
why you got those tree trunk legs, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I got yeah.
Because you were like up those up those driveways.
Oh yeah, those driveways are long, bro.
We just thick boys. Shout out to all the thick boys. You know.
Hey, but I remember you showed me that you had a push-up challenge going
Oh
on.
yeah, definitely. It is actually during COVID too. Right before COVID, I was, my route is super plush out there, and those people out there don't really see nobody. So I will see somebody like, "Hey, dude, what's up? We're doing 30 push-ups right now. Let's go." And they look at me, and I'm like, "Come on!" Like militant, not even asking them, telling them, and I'm gonna record you. And so I would record people. I record moms, dads, their kids, like anybody. They were just down to do it because what else was there
Random
to do?
people?
Random people. Well, I would show up to their house. They'd open
Yeah.
the door, and I'm like, "Hey, it's me again. We're doing the push-up challenge. Let's go." And no one had started it. Not to say I'm the one that started it, but I'm definitely was in the beginning phases of the push-up challenge, and we did a lot of those. And honestly, I low key got a little famous because of that. Everywhere I go, they're like, "You're the UPS guy that had all the dogs and did the push-ups," and I'm like, "Dang, yeah, that was me." Like I
I'm
don't.
gonna look for you, bro. I've never seen it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have that much content on that anymore. Now I have content of cutting hair and be at the barbershop, so it's a little different. But yeah, I did a lot of that.
So how did that pivot? So that he told you, "Hey, I still have you on here, but no hours." Like,
Oh yeah, so then I was like, okay, dude, so what do I need me to do? Like I gotta resign. Like I'm here now. This is what I'm gonna do. This is what I choose to do. Yes, it's less money. And then I was talking to my fiance, yeah, actually yesterday about it. And you know, for 22 years, I was the breadwinner in my life. I had a 6-figure job. I could buy anything I wanted. I bought my house. I go on vacation whenever I wanted. And now, but I had no time. I would be out there at 6, 7 o'clock knocking on the doors, and you open your door and you have your whole family and you guys are all eating dinner. Here I am delivering your rubber bands. Like I'm like, what the heck? Like here. And I'm like, and now I'm delivering to these rich people's houses, and I'm like, why are you always home? But you have this big old crib. And they all told me I own my own business. Wow. Every one of them. I own my own business. I own my own business. So that's what I said. I go, I gotta own my own business. And even though right now I'm not making as much money as UPS, it's slowly climbing, but I have more time. So now I'm working 4 days a week instead of 5 days a week. Before I used to even work 6 days a week. So now I'm working,
Crazy hours too, right?
yeah, crazy hours, 12
all
hours
day,
a day,
huh?
all day. During Christmas, my family wouldn't see me. I'd be out there all day. Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and New Year's. I would show up to the Christmas party, eat, and knock out because I was so tired. And now I help set up. Now I'm there before and after. So I get to travel with my fiance. My fiance and I like to travel. So her family's from up north. Now I could get to up there whenever I want. Just close my books and go. Like I have more time. I make less money, but I mean, life's about time. So I kind of, that's what was my biggest pivot, is the fact that,
Well, haircuts are going up, bro.
well, yeah, I mean, I'm
You know,
slowly,
you're gonna.
yeah, I'm slowly climbing. I'm
Yeah.
slowly climbing, but ultimately, my goal was to give myself more time, because if I could give myself more time, then that means I'm more valuable as an individual rather than just me spending money, and that's what I really want to do. And I'm still getting better at making sure that I'm using my time efficiently, because again, the more value I bring when I'm here, the more value I have as a human rather than just money in my pocket. I'm spending it here.
Bro, and I see that, bro. You know, I've seen you a couple times at Spiritual Homeboys and whatever. But I remember one time I showed up and I think I brought pastries and you told me, and I think that's your style, bro, and I love it. You were like, "Hey, bro, you look skinnier, bro." I'm like, "What the heck, bro? Eating these jumbo jacks, you know?" I'm like, "Oh, thanks, bro." You know what I mean? But it's weird, right? Like little things like that, and I see it. It's converted, to your barbershop
Yes.
and the way you talk about it. And
Yes.
here's a question, bro. When did haircuts go from $12 to $40, bro? Like, is that after the pandemic or what?
Oh no, I mean, it's something that
My friend wants to know. My friend wants to know.
That's fine. Hey, my friends. I think it's something that's been a long time coming. I mean, everything else that is
Se
in
lo
the
merecen.
world, yeah, everything else that's in the world is going up. It's just what it is. The difference is that men tend to be a little bit less, I would say, careless about their look, because they don't know what they can actually achieve. So they'll go to the
Okay.
same person, the same $12, the Tia spa.
There's no more $12, please.
There isn't, but that's what it was.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
$20, whatever, because they don't know that they can achieve something completely on a different level. And if you're going to go pay $40 or $50, it's not just about the haircut. You guys better go to a spot that's clean, a spot that makes you feel a certain way, a spot that you can actually be yourself. And then not only that, but when you step in, people see the value you hold. You're not just like, all right, sit down, bro. It's about us barbers. It's like, no, dude, like when you show up, they see your value. So when you go to a barbershop and you're paying $40 to $60, that's because you're valued there. You're not gonna not be valued at a place like that. And then you'll see the difference from going to that spot to a $25 spot. You're gonna be like, I know why it's $25. Not only are they not sanitary, which is the biggest thing in barbering. Barbering is not even like the core of barbering is sanitation. If you go to any barber shop and they're not sanitary, then they're just not it. They could cut the dopest haircuts, but they're unsanitary. That's not it. It is what it is.
It's like a restaurant, right?
Like
Yeah,
a restaurant.
yeah. You get a C license or a C letter or whatever, and you have still bomb food. No one's gonna go. It's just what it is.
You smell that oil.
Yeah.
And I'm a witness to that, bro, because, I know you're closed on Mondays, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes my free time is on Mondays, and I go to the one around the corner from the crib, which is convenient. But like you said, it's a tia spot. You know what I'm saying? Like some puras doñas, bro. It's a bunch of ladies and they do all right. But when I go to the Otter stop, bro, olvídate.
No, I see.
I
it,
come
bro. You
out-
post.
I come out looking
Plug.
like it's night and day.
Yeah.
And your guys' customer service is prestige.
Yeah.
I mean, I walk up and not even get a haircut. I'm just go in there and say what's up. Sometimes I just driving by or go get my tires. Ahí con el güero on the corner,
Yeah.
and I'll just I gotta go say what's up to the homies, and I'll pull up and you introduce me to your customer at the chair. Hey, yo, this is Fernando, and
You want to compliment? Show up.
it just the vibe, bro, is different. And I got a homie who cuts hair too, and he told me, hey, you got a barber? I said, yeah. He's like, oh, okay, where at? I told him, oh, our stop. He's like, oh, I heard about that spot. So you guys are already making noise.
Oh, nice.
So what drives that customer service, and where did you get that? Is it a skill set, or is that something that you already have with you?
I think it's like anything else. Like I was raised around customer service when I was 13. I started working at a family restaurant. So I seen it, and then I was a waiter, and then I used to sell hats, so that's the salesman in me. And then I had a clothing brand, so that's the creator in me. So I think throughout my life, I kind of did a lot of things that kind of help in the barbershop. But as a barber, you have to have multi amounts of skills. You have to be a people person. You have to be organized. You have to be on time, say what you do. You have to be punctual. You have to be responsible. You have to have a style. You can't just be this ordinary blah person, because you have to be somebody to be able to give somebody else it. You have to have some it to kind of, bro, I'm gonna shine some light on you too. Shh. It ain't just for me. We have to shine each other. So I think you could develop it if you put yourself out there. There's an introvert barber in the shop right now. And I sat down with him. He's been there for 4 months. I've sat with him like 6 times because I have to make sure that he's getting molded. Because sometimes you need to be stepping out of your comfort zone. But as a barber, as a waiter, as a interviewist, you're gonna learn how to do things better every time. Like you're gonna learn how to be more smooth every time. It's gonna come easier the more you do it. So I think with time, with practice, and with a little bit of honing, you could be the people person and the stylish person that people want to come to.
That's dope.
I think that's that love he was talking about. That love of, I want to see you better. I want to see you shine, come out of this thing ready.
Yeah.
And it's something where a lot of people don't practice. And plus, you love to cut hair.
I love it.
So it's your passion. And when it's your passion, you're ready.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't have to compliment me, bro.
I did it.
And you did.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shoot,
See,
bro.
that's what I was telling him right now before we hop on the cameras. I was telling him, like, would you say this was a God-given vision?
I would say that God put me in the place and put me through the stuff He put me through to be able to help men not only conquer, I wouldn't say their fears, but their their lack of confidence. And because I'm there and I've been through certain things, I can give them that confidence. So I think it is a God given ability because He put me through what He put me through in order to have these mementos, stories, inspirations, accountability towards to my clients. It's I tell people all the time, I lose clients because I hold them with so much accountability that they don't want to come back to see me because they won't do what they say. And in reality, I need to have people around me that are gonna do what they say.
Mm.
And no, I mean, bro, nobody's perfect. But if you're talking to me about how you're gonna open up a coffee shop 10 times, bro, come on. Just don't tell me, and like, what can I do to help you? And I talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, because, bro, I want to see you shine in what you're saying you wanted to do. If not, that's not what you want to do, then don't tell me. So, a God given ability, yes. He put me in this place to help young men achieve their ultimate confidence.
And where I'm going with this is that, you're not bumping, worship music, and you don't speak Christianese, and you don't do all that, right?
What language is that?
Christianese, you know what I'm talking about.
I know.
You know the because I actually went to
Gloria a
a
Dios.
barbershop in National City, and these brothers were super religious, bro.
Mm.
And they were always inviting me to their church, but I just got that vibe. And
Yeah.
I was
What is
like,
that? Franklin? What's that dude's name? The artist? Kirk Franklin? Franklin on you, bro.
But what I was telling you is that you guys are very Christ-like, even though
Ooh.
you're not, you don't have scriptures on the walls and you're not bumping worship music, but the way you guys treat people and the vibe and the love, the respect, the joy, all that energy that is in that barbershop, bro, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely love first. Love first. I hug people all the time, as I love to hug people. Come here, give me a hug, bro. Let's go. Like, love, first foot, love, empathy, accountability. Let's go. Love, empathy, accountability. Like, like you said, I introduce my clients to you. I want them to understand that just like how I take something from you, bro, you have the dopest energy. Every time I see you, you're always like with their chuckle. Like, that's awesome.
I cried behind the scenes, bro.
That's awesome. Like that, just that right there. I want people to feel that.
Mm.
So if a client's next to me and I know you have that, bro, check this guy out right here
Mm.
because he's not always here. So this is my client. This is Fed. Bro, this guy's dope. Oh, yeah, what you do? And all of a sudden they have a connect. Like I can't connect. That's their connection. And that lifts that person up in a certain way. And that's how it's supposed to be. Like we got to help each other, lift each other, love on each other because in all reality, like, maybe it's changing now in the world today, maybe because I'm around it and because I do it, but we need to love as men, we need to love on each other and support each other a lot more.
Facts, bro.
I don't think that it's done enough. And I can definitely say we do it at the shop, and I definitely try to tell the barbers in that that's how we're gonna move in here. There is no other way. We need to build each other. And
Love that.
it definitely happens.
Bro, it's contagious to keep it real, to smile and to be like, oh man, he's not being like different with me. You know what I mean? Because we're so used to that environment where people are trying to like have one up on you, or I know more than you, or they don't let you talk,
Yeah.
or they want to talk over you. And bro, so how'd you get plugged in over there, bro? Like, how'd you get into that building? Is that where you were knocking the walls down?
Yeah.
Or was
Yeah.
this, oh,
Yeah.
but how do you know? Is it something to do with Milo?
Yeah. So Milo came to me when I was in barber college.
Okay.
And then
He was there too?
no, he just came to get a haircut.
Because I was gonna say Milo's an entrepreneur, bro. I seen him do cejas.
He tried, bro. He tried. He tried like 2 times. And then he started doing
posted
something
it.
else 2 times. And so he gets busy. He has a lot of things going on. So
Right.
he'll try it. He'll be good at it, but he's got other fish to fry. So Yeah, so he was there, and then I serviced him, and he was blown away. He's like, "Bro, you're my
Mira.
barber. You're my barber. Come over here." And at the time, he had the spot right here on Main Street, which is it was a big old warehouse, and I had a chair there, and I would take my bike from Imperial Beach. I lived in Imperial Beach at the time, and ride my bike from there all the way here just to cut hair
On purpose?
on purpose.
Get
So I
the
would do that.
fitness?
I had my own station right
What was
there.
the route?
You could take the back streets. I would take Main Street all the way down to like the where the salt mines are at over there. I would use that
Oh,
whole
Main
bike lane.
Street and Chula Vista.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought like Main Street out
Well,
here.
well, there's a Main Street right here too. You could kind of go that way as well. But yeah, it was like a 16 to 18 miles, and I would do that every like 3 days. I would just ride up here and just cut hair, and that would just be part of the scene. And then that's how I started becoming part of the scene. Just people knowing me there. I would even hang out right here at the Roots Factory when this was a Roots Factory. So and then I even cut La Bodega Art Gallery. I had a chair there. The chair I still have. I would roll it out. All the art will be. They would have an art show. Boom. 2 days later, I roll my chair out and I cut hair with all the art up. So it was a really high end. I didn't know at the time. I was just trying to cut hair, but people would come in like, "What? Like next level? This is something that would go on in a different city." Like, La Bodega was one of the most premier art galleries in all of California. They held over like 300 artists at a time. So it was a very, very, high end kind of scenario where I had my chair and I would just cut hair there, and I started cutting hair there. He even wanted me to go into his spot right there on Logan Ave. But I was always hesitant. It was a lot going on. I like mine like low key, a lot more private. And I was at UPS. What am I gonna do? I'm at UPS. I got a career. I got a 401k. I got a pension. Like, you want me to leave that to cut hair? I didn't see the vision at the time. I was like, I don't know about that. And then I was kind of on the tail end of because I had a 5-year plan, and I was gonna do my exit route at a UPS. And so when he told me about this building, I came, and he was just trying to ask me if I knew anybody, and I was like, bro, you kidding me? You're talking to me. Like, what you mean? Do I know anybody? So I kind of was like, well, what is it? Does it look like? I went in there and I go, how much? And he was like, this much. And I'm like, oof, I don't want none of this stuff. This is a salon style. I'm a barbershop. So I was able to gut it out, go in there, and that's when I was like, let me start. Luckily I had some time off of work, so I was able to go in there, kind of start cutting hair, and then
By yourself first.
yeah, by myself first. But it's a journey. Entrepreneurship is a journey. What I thought I knew, I needed to know more. With the licenses I had, I needed more. So the good thing about, going in places like this, that an entrepreneur owns it or runs it, he's gonna let you make those mistakes. And so once I got all of them and I'm legit, I'm super legit. I met with my accountant today, and I'm able to see like the money's on a different level. So now I'm growing, and so yeah, I got plugged up there through Milo, and now, and honestly, like you said, I'm surrounded by a lot of businesses in there, and in there when we started, we were kind of like the staple of the place, and I think we
You
still
still
are.
are, yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
But then, like, a lot of movement was going on in there. There was a lot of businesses that went in and out of there. They just were not fitting the script. They were not fitting the vibe. And you know how we are. We're very like, hey, what's up? What's going on? And for someone to not be that vibe when that vibe is there, it's kind of like, oh, okay, okay, we can't really go over there, or we can't talk to them. So it was they slowly left themselves. And now with Shepherd's Coffee, shout out to Efren and his wifey,
Set out.
the synchrony is on a whole different level. And like you say, we're not speaking Christianese, yet Efren and I have a very respectful relationship. We support each other in everything we do. We bring in different events all the time, and we help each other with them. And then Fearless is in the back, so that's a church. That's a full running church. So shout out to Fearless.
Yeah.
They do a lot of things. They're from LA. They come down here, and they brought in a lot of blessings into our life in a lot of ways, and with that with that sequence,
Se me olvidó de eso, eh.
so now it's like a whole different like dynamic in there,
Yeah.
and they all works because we're all want everyone to shine. We all see the love that God has given us and the grace that He's given us. So I'm very generous. Sometimes I think too generous. That's why I need an accountant, because I'm here. Take it. Do here. You can have this. Here, go rock this. Here, I'll give you an opportunity. And everyone in there is like that, and that's why it's such a lovely place.
It's a beautiful ecosystem.
Yeah.
Man. It's just
That's
it's
the
just a
word right
beautiful
there.
place. So would you say you would have been able to do it without the support of your fiance?
Well, the plan was that I was gonna do it. The thing is that I think that I did it sooner because of her support.
Okay.
So, like, I already had a plan, and I made myself have no debt. I made myself be able to make income off of my house. Like, I made all those steps before I was gonna leave UPS. Luckily, I didn't have any kids. I didn't have a lot of debt. I had a dog at the time. Like, it wasn't like I was like I'm not really like a lavish living individual. I get what I need, and that's it. I don't need to have a lot of stuff. I'm a little bit of a hoarder, but that's a different story. Um, with
But-
antiques and stuff,
uh,
Um,
Hey, but it fit the
yeah, it fits the aesthetic of the barbershop,
Right.
So I was gonna do it anyways. She just kind of pushed it along a little faster. And it was the right timing. I mean, I had a holes in the walls. It was time for me to expand. It was time for me to kind of jump, like they say, jump, right?
Yeah.
And it was time for me to do that.
How important is it to deal with the challenges and the obstacles? Because it's not a smooth ride.
Oh no, it's
It
not.
wasn't a
Right.
smooth ride.
So
No.
what is it that pushes you? What's that catapult or that gasoline that keeps you going?
Yeah, so I tell this to my fiance all the time, and I tell her that I'm not money driven. I'm not money driven.
That part.
So because I'm not money driven, not that I don't care to make money, but
You have to live.
yeah, you have to live, and I have a mortgage, and
So what drives? If it's not money, then what is it?
it's like I said before, it's not only motivating, but helping men get the confidence they need to go conquer the world. Like that's what happens. And that's what happens in our shop. Like, unfortunately, a lot of men don't know the availability of what we have. They don't know that it's out there, right? It's gonna come. I'm not too worried because people are talking. But what we offer, we're not the cool guys. We're the right guys.
Ooh.
We're definitely gonna show you love. We're gonna hold you accountable, and then we're gonna find solutions for your problems in the best way we can. Because it's not like we know everything, right? But we're definitely gonna support you in those things because we want you to shine. We want you to be better. Trust that if you do better, you're gonna return the favor and make us be better. It's just what it is. I have clients that come to my shop from Rancho Santa Fe, from San Marcos,
What?
from Oceanside, because they understand the value we bring.
30 miles?
They drive.
20 miles?
They bring their
40
brother.
miles.
They'll bring their dad. They'll bring people like, no, I need to bring my brother. He needs to come. Or that like a mom brings her little kid. I need to bring my older son because he needs your help. He needs the guidance. One of the things that we're getting a lot of is a lot of single moms come in our shop. Oh my goodness, thanks for taking care of him. Like he needed to hear what you just said. And to us, it's just like, what's up, bro? What you up to? What are you gonna do? So what are you thinking? Are you helping your mom? You gotta help your mom, bro. You're the man of the house. And they're like, oh damn, okay. Like you could do it, bro. You got this. Like helping your mom ain't that big of a deal. Plus, bro, you be all right. Do some 30 push-ups, you'll be all right. And so they're kind of, even if they're not gonna listen, it's in their head now. And I don't know them, but they're seeing us how we move. So they're like, okay, okay. And then next time they come, like, oh, he's improved. And so we're like, okay, cool. So
Bro, as much as your sisters put their responsibility on you, organically you received it because organically you give that out.
yeah,
So organically you want to, hey, you can be responsible. Hey, I can hold you accountable. Hey man, keep your word.
yeah.
All those little things that nurtured you, and it was like your sisters, putting that pressure. Hey, you're the man. You're like, well, wait a minute, it's not me. It's not my time.
Yeah.
But now it's like natural for you. It's natural to say, hey, si se puede. Hey, levántate.
Yeah.
Hey, that coffee shop you mentioned 10 times, homie, I don't need to hear it 10 times anymore. Find ideas, go out there, pursue your dream
Yeah.
because you obviously pursued your dream.
Yeah.
And, bro, tell me of a story or a moment that somebody came in, bro, y tú sabías que algo tenía. And you saw him, you're like, what's going on with this youngster? Or just any story that, you opened up.
Well, I mean, there's
I
so
know you have so many stories,
yeah,
huh?
there's a lot of stories. I mean, I had grown men cry in my chair.
Yeah.
You know, I've had grown men cry in my chair because I knew their father. Their father passed away. You know,
Are you like a therapist?
oh, definitely. I mean,
He's a good
yes,
listener, bro.
yeah. Well, I think what I do is I press the right buttons with what they tell me. I think I press the right buttons. I don't I can be a little intrusive sometimes, but sometimes I'd rather go over the edge so that you could come back a little bit and you're still doing way more than you thought. You know, so that's how I kind of see it sometimes. But yeah, I've had conversations with people about death, about, breakups, about how there's like women that are snakes. Like I've heard all kinds of stuff and scenarios, and all I can do is listen and give a good ear and then talk about how to move forward with their situation. I had a guy that came through and he had the finest woman, bro. He showed me the phone, model type of woman, curly hair, like just voluptuous. And this guy looked, I don't know, I don't want
Regular
to,
Joe.
yeah, average Joe, 6'7", 5.5, I don't know. And
6'7", that's pretty tall, bro.
no, in the scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. And he was inherited a lot of money, so he had money.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
what happened? She saw that he showed it off. So she saw that. She married the dude. They had problems. And this is like I don't want to say the cheat code, but basically I'll tell you guys later because I don't want women to catch on and then they take all the money away from the men. But she basically took all his money, all of his money, all his inheritance. He kept a little stash because his other side of the family decided to give him some money with grace, like here, because you're now broke. But she ran off with millions of dollars, and the parents helped her, and now they live in this plush house that they took from him. And he's just like, think about it, bro. Like he's just like has so much fury against her. So he's in my chair with like these eyeballs popping out, telling me the story. He's just tense. And so all I could do is listen. And then, we have things that we can do in the shop that will kind of help you relax. So all I did was I pulled out an essential oil and I did a breathing technique with him. And so I busted out my essential oil and I did a breathing technique with him, which changed his whole aroma system, his whole respiration system. His brain got new oxygen in there, and it just turned his mind.
Is Vicks okay?
No, it's
Vicks helps you on everything, bro. I used to use Vicks in my eyes to go to sleep, bro.
Está traumado con el Vicks este, ¿no, Chris?
nah. I used bergamots.
Oh, okay.
So bergamot smells really pure. It opens up your.
¿Es el bergamota?
No, not bergamota, but you could buy bergamota has bergamot in it.
Oh, okay.
I don't none of these oils, bro.
Yeah, so it just opens it up.
Shampoo.
It's really, really refreshing. And I had him do a breathing technique, and he did it, and he came out of it like just a lot more relaxed. And then I have a hand massager, and I just massaged his head.
Well, you hooked them up.
Yeah, and so he was just kind of like, oh, like, and then he woke up and he's like, wow, I needed that. And I'm like, yeah, now you're relaxed. Now we could start your haircut. And he was just like, dude, like the whole time he was just kind of like, now he was chill. That thought process wasn't there. He left the shop, gave me a fat tip because I changed his whole thought process, and now he's my client. And so he comes back and talks to me about it again, but I try to find ways to get his mind off of it or get his mind on solutions. And even with that, like us men, we have a tendency that when we break up, we have try to find 5 or 6 of them. Now we have 5 or 6. I have an entourage, bro. Da 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 da. And I'm just like, okay, bro, well, get it out of your system, bro, because you obviously want a wife. Yeah, okay, well, you can't have 5 or 6 and want a wife because you're gonna bring that tail end of playerism when you actually meet the woman that you need to give the right opportunity to. Because now you're not giving yourself or her the opportunity to actually really meet in soulness and really be there for each other because you have 5 or 6 other broads you're now dodging.
Yeah.
And so he's like, okay. And I'm going to get it out the way, bro. Like I tell all my clients, go to Baskin Robbins, taste all the ice cream. Taste all the ice cream out there, but make sure you know your flavor. Then you'll pick your flavor, and that's the flavor you're
Rocky Road.
Rocky Road. I'm boy.
So, last question before we jump to the finishing section.
Spiritual homeboys question?
No. So that how did you get that healing, bro, from losing your pops? Because obviously that's something that really,
Well, that's a better question.
Yeah, I
really
mean,
impacted you.
it's like even when I talk about it, I hear myself and I struggle to talk about it. You know, it's definitely an emotion I carry with me every day. But I see it as I carry the legacy. I carry his ferociousness. I carry his empathetic. I carry his charisma. I carry it. He's alive.
And
So
yeah,
he's here right now with you guys because I'm showing you who he is. So it's I don't know if it's a healing. It's more like an answer to his death by me keeping him alive. So it's I don't know if I've healed from it yet. I've only cried for him once in his grave and while
Really,
out of
bro?
yeah, only for him. Like I really well, when they told me when I was a kid and then as an adult one other time.
Gotcha.
And it was when I was in his grave and I was just like, I wish I could tell you all these things, you know, I'm laying in your grave and I just need a sign. Like show me that you're here with me. Just, you know, and then all of a sudden I see an eagle just go above me and I'm like, what? Like right when I ask. And so I just started crying. I started telling him everything that I've been through. And then when he was gone, it was like I was finished. And I was like, what the heck? He was right here. Like, this is crazy. So, you know, I don't know if I've healed from it, but I definitely show the world every day who he is through how I rock.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And is it on your question? Is it has something to do with the name of Otter Stop or no?
Well, yeah, but you can ask it.
No, no, no. Let's hit it.
Yeah,
'Cause
how'd
we're
you come
running
up
out
with
of
that
time.
name, bro? That name and just the idea collab. For people that don't know, explain what that is.
Yeah, well, the Imperial Collab is it's its own entity. Like that was there before I went in there. But as far as Otter Stop, it was when I was still at UPS, I was cutting hair on the weekends, and I had the same client cycle of clients every 2 weeks. So I would have the same amount of people every month, and tapping into the psychology of things, I wanted to learn more about the people in my chair as they knew about themselves. So how can I tap into their psychology more than they know? So I started coming up with a questionnaire, which I have a lot of questions. I think I have a 20 questions questionnaire that I haven't popped out yet. But one of the questions was like an example would be like, what makes you a man? And you could answer that like quick, but you're also quick to hold back because there's a lot of things that you want to compound into that answer.
It's a very broad question.
It's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
broad. So how do I compound it down to really showcase who I am as a man, right? So that was like one of the questions. The other question was like, if you die today and you wake up as an animal, what animal are you? And then why are you that animal?
Mm.
So a lot of my clients would, you know, tap into whatever animal they were, and then, you know, a lot of the chaos, a lot of the stress, a lot of the job stuff, a lot of the family stuff went away and they went into their primal state. And I'm a lion. Why are you a lion? Because I'm in the jungle and I'm the king. Oh, what? So they all tell me the animals, and then, you know, just so happened that I had just seen an otter Nat Geo thing, and I'm like, otters are dope. Like, so when they asked me, I'd be like, I'd be an otter, and they're like, why? And I'm like, because I love the water. They are a family oriented animal. They're just chilling all day, and I love to just chill. They hungry, they go down, grab food, come up, eat it, and then go to take a nap. Like, I'd rather be an otter. So that's initially what I started with.
And they're super cute too, bro.
Yeah, well, don't get it twisted though, because they're really, really ferocious
I took a
animals.
picture, bro, when you were right there of you, bro.
Uh, yeah, they have there's 13 different species of otters. They kill
Oh,
caiman,
shoot,
they
bro.
kill piranhas face first. They eat eels, they eat turtles,
Really?
they're in the apex animal with the leopards. So you like there's a
Whoa.
lot of things that they are about. And so luckily I had a friend of mine, shout out Jordan Starks.
Oh yeah.
Um
West Side Love, baby.
West Side Love. He is a branding manager. So he's my client. So who better person to do my branding than someone that's dope in that industry and is my client? Like he's been with me for such a long time.
Well,
And
that's your hat too, huh? Oh, look at that,
yeah, this is
bro.
our newest hat right here.
Oh,
Get
This
that
is our
merch.
newest hat, Otter Stop.
fire.
And so he did our logo, and I just that's it. Once I saw it, I'm like, that's it, bro. Let's go. And yeah, so that's why I came up with Otter Stop Barbershop, and it rhymes.
Yeah.
It's dope, bro.
And otters are a sign of wealth. So whenever it was back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, whenever someone was wearing an otter pelt, they had wealth. So it was a sign of wealth. So they have the thickest fur in all the mammals.
Nice.
Yes, there's a lot of things I could go on and
No,
on
no,
about.
yeah, but
Yeah.
Hey, let's wrap it up, bro, because
Bro, so at the end of the podcast, bro, we do the 5 ya estás questions, bro. At the state, bro, I'm like, you know what? I gotta make it difficult.
Okay.
Not just playing.
Uh,
All right, question number 1, bro. If you can lie, why speak the truth?
mhm.
That's an actual question.
Oh,
If you can lie, why speak the truth?
you have to speak the truth. It's the best way, the only way, the way to move. So, face it. Let's go.
What about you, bro? What do you think about that? I think lie's a lot of work. Like
Well,
lying, you
I
gotta
think-
memorize it.
Yeah.
when you really want to connect with people, you want to be your true self.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, man.
And there's a lot of pretending going
Going
around.
around, bro.
Right.
And,
Hey, one size fits all, huh? Everybody's wearing that shirt.
and it's like, yo, you were created with a like you. There's no one out there like you, and you have a purpose. You're designed the way you are is because you are needed in this world. So be true to yourself and be true to others. Because the lie, like who admits they're a liar? Like who goes up to someone and says, "Yo, I got this lie for you. I'm gonna lie to you right now."
Yeah.
So lie is fake,
Yeah.
and
You got a
nobody
good
lives
radar
fake.
too on it.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you do. You're like,
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I get caught up with the lie, and then I realize afterwards. But hey, yeah.
bro, lying becomes when I was a kid, it became so natural to me, bro. And then when I started noticing I was hurting people, I was like, eh.
Mm.
So, yeah, that speaks to me a lot. Okay, question number 2. God's plan is family. Okay, so how can we make it our plan?
Just treating like everybody like family.
Yeah,
Being a family to everyone that comes around you. That's the way.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Simple.
Yeah.
and
And
that plan works, right? It's like us being alone, like you can't. I feel like you can't succeed. I love what that pastor, minister, whatever from last time. He says, if we all participate, God moves.
Mm.
Like God moves when everybody's united.
Yep.
wherever there's two or more,
Yeah, gather.
he's in the middle of it. So we are creatures of relationships. That's why the biggest punishment for a human being is prison. Especially
You're in solidate.
¿cómo se dice?
Did I
Solitaire.
say that right?
That's the worst. And that just shows you that we're not meant to be alone.
Bro, you're my dictionary, bro. So if you're sick, bro, and you're not a hunter, bro, you can't correct me, bro. You're my dictionary, bro. All right, question number 3. So, what's the best advice you've gotten while you're cutting hair?
Ooh.
The best advice. The reason why you got 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. You better listen. Think about it twice before you speak.
What about you, Fernando? What advice?
Yeah, your answers are short and sweet
Yeah.
and powerful. I don't cut hair, so,
Yeah, but what good advice you ever gotten, bro?
so
Well, leave the cutting hair part out.
okay. Oh, sheesh.
Bro, have you heard the saying? Si te ahogas y lloras, te estás desahogando.
Oh, wow.
That's good. That's fun. Shoot, man. In order to be light, you have to come out of your darkness.
Okay.
Ooh.
And unfortunately, you're going to make a lot of people uncomfortable, but you cannot rely on people's approval. When you love yourself, you're going to be able to love others, and you're just going to be a light to this world.
And that comes with service, right? Like sometimes you get caught up in people pleasing, and then you get caught up and you get hurt. You know.
Well, like Lowe's was saying, bro, that I think he has a challenger frequency, you know, and he challenges people, but because he's trying to bring the best out of the person, right?
100%.
And you said you've lost customers because of it.
I'm okay with it. I'm
They
okay
come
with it.
back. They got the big old afro. You know why? Huh?
No, I mean they feel a certain type of way because I'm challenging them in a way, but then like everything else, you know when to keep going or like, all right, I'm gonna take it back a little notch, because they want to spend time with you. They want you to cut their hair, and it's not always about the challenge. Sometimes I have to check myself. It's not always about the challenge. Sometimes it's just about having a good time. So yeah.
Dope. Okay. Question number 4, and it's a Bible question. It says Proverbs 9:10. It says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom." The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. What does that Bible verse mean to you? There's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah,
It's your
there is
interpretation.
yeah. I would say just because it's like it's so indeptual, the word. There's so many stories, so many lessons, so many. You're never gonna stop learning. Just when you thought you learned something, you're like, wait, what? It just another lesson and another challenge within loving even the people that are hating you.
The people
Or
that are hard to love.
yeah, exactly. Even the heart, like we went to church on Sunday, and it was about love and about loving people. Even like God wants you to love more on people that are hard to love because they need it more. And I think it's like
Because they need it more.
yeah, the challenge of that. Here you're learning the word, and it's a challenge within itself. But even when you think you got it, you get challenged again to be not only more open but more loving.
Mm,
So
love that. I love that. Whew, man, that's a scripture that can. I mean, we can go on and on. So many applications to that, but I think when we fear God, that means, and it's not fear of trembling. It's more fear of we love him so much we don't want to dishonor him. You know, like your pops. You feared disobeying your pops because I'm sure the way you've talked about him, he would discipline you. Like you didn't want to make him upset. Like how we love our partners or wives. We love them so much that we fear hurting them. So I think for me, that scripture is like fearing God, knowing God. We have to know him through his word, know his character in order for us not to rely on ourselves, but rely on him. Because that's why we're in this whole mess. Because Adam and Eve preferred relying on themselves, and sin came into the world, and now we live in a very fallen, broken world. So we better rely on his commandments, his directions, and not rely on ourselves because we're gonna drop the ball every time.
Bro needs forever patient, bro. He don't know different. So he doesn't go out of character.
Oh, man.
That mercy, bro, he doesn't go out of character. That's him.
Mhm.
All right, cool, dope. Okay. Last question. In a friendship, what is something that draws you closer to somebody? Like through a friendship, like what makes a good friend to you?
Mm. I'd say a couple things, but um, I would say acts of service for you,
Acts of service.
acts of service, and loyalty.
Mm.
And kind of the same thing we've been talking about, like a friend that wants to see you shine, and that entails the accountability, that tough love, that encouraging love, that cheerleader love. So a friend doesn't just do one thing; they do multiple things. So loyalty and then love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. And even when you're in disagreement, you still respect,
Mm.
you know. I think sometimes we believe a true friendship is someone who's gonna be a yes man, or for chicks a yes woman, like always in agreement, and sometimes being in disagreement and being in those rough situations, like you have to go through the tough times in order to build that trust and that relationship, and because nothing in this life that is easy is worth a while,
Mhm.
you know. Like when you go to the gym, you don't just like ride the bike 10 minutes and then call it a day.
Yes, I do.
Not with a six.
And you want a six, so
Oh,
you
yes,
got to
I
put in
do.
that work. So it's that's just a principle of life with business.
Yeah, seriously.
It hasn't been a smooth ride. So with friendships and relationships, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Super
But
dope, bro. Bro, thank you for having
Oh man, I appreciate you
coming.
guys. I know it's been a long time coming, and yeah, I appreciate you guys. I guess showing your crowd a little different side of me.
no, definitely appreciate you giving us the time. And I know you said, man, you have like crazy people in there, and I ain't that.
So ordinary up in here. You guys have
Yeah.
people that have done time, done crimes, done all kinds of stuff, and I'm over here.
Cristian,
Yeah, I'm over
freaking
here like
cartel. No, but see, but uh, I that's what we want to show people is different different sides of humanity, and you got a powerful story in yourself. I mean, what you've been through, what you're doing for the community. It's not just cutting hair; it's bringing values. So that's something that is very important. And yo,
Where can they
Edgar,
find you, bro? Where
yeah,
can they find you, bro?
yeah, yeah.
Get that
Come,
haircut.
if you want to follow us on Instagram at OtterStop, OtterStop. We're located right here in Sherman Heights, 2460 Imperial Avenue, 92102. Come see us. We'll take care of you. Bring your family. It's all love.
yeah.
All through appointments, huh?
No, you could do walk-ins. You do appointments. You're for sure getting in. You do a walk-in. You're taking your chances. But we could do it.
Yeah, if you want to look sharp, if you want to impress your lady, that's the place to go. So make sure y'all subscribe, drop a comment, let us know where you listening from. Make sure you share with your peoples because, man, our brother here shared a lot of knowledge, and especially for entrepreneurs. If you want to go and get some entrepreneur advice, go to the Otter Stop Barbershop. Man, I got a little tongue tied. It must be the flu. But hey, peace out, y'all. We'll see you on the next one.
Junior on the beat, boy. Ya estás, podcast, boy. Let's go. Ya estás, no vuelvo para atrás, libre del Alcatraz, en la guerra tengo paz. Mis metralletas es la oración y adoración, salvación para mi nación, manifestar el reino es la meta. Puesta la armadura, que las criaturas andan duras de la dimensión oscura, mi alma se apresura.